After what felt like years of waiting since February, Pokemon Legends ZA is finally out. I couldn't be more excited. X and Y were my first and most favorite games in the entire franchise, so when they mentioned they're pairing these games with my other favorite game in the whole series, I couldn't be more excited to play it on release. Here's the story of how that went.
No, this video isn't a month late. I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to quickly give a shout out to my friend Fizz, who's featured in a majority of the clips throughout. He's recently started streaming again, and I just think he's super funny overall, so I'd appreciate if you check out his stream. But otherwise, here's the actual gameplay. Now, bye, I'll leave. Sorry about that.
The game begins with two people standing in front of Prism Tower glowing purple in shock, just before AZ and Floette walk into frame. It then cuts to your character on a train as you would just arrive to Lumiose, where you meet your rival, Urbain. After your initial introductions, you get a really quick reality check that you have arrived in France. You got robbed. Following the thief into the alley, you encounter these backpackers who I might have thought had different initial motives. Are they taking the Pokemon to the cops? Oh wait, no, they're probably talking about the bag. I thought they were gonna
fucking instinct with. They're taking the Pokemon to the cops now? They're turning that guy in?
With Pancham now on the run, it was time to pick my starter, in which I obviously chose Gimme the Pig. I want the pig. I love the pig so much. I love the pig. I was so excited when I saw Tepig was in the game. Following that battle, night falls upon the city where we get cornered by a bunch of trainers. Fortunately for us though, Floette is there to give those trainers a warning shot. Arriving back to the hotel, we are formally introduced to AZ, where he happily welcomes us to stay here. Waking up the next morning, we meet Lita and officially enter the ZA Royale as we are welcomed to the group attempting to save Lumiose, Team MZ, where after his intimidation tactics, he takes us to the first wild area. However, before I got to the wild area, we saw some realism within this Pokemon game.
Oh no. Yeah, we're gonna keep walking. Wait, hold on. I want to look at who has it. You're a freak!
What the bro? Of course it's the fucking middle-aged man with a beard. Fucking weirdo.
I headed through Wild Area 1, catching every Pokemon I saw before making my way to the research lab. A bit confused on the disappearance of Sycamore. Where have you gone? We are introduced to Mabel of Team of the research facilities. She was never part of anything else. She introduced herself before asking us to help with our research tasks. Through doing these tasks, we'll unlock a new reward for each research level you complete, but I just don't think I'll personally be doing this because it seems like a very long and tedious... Anyway, before I could fully put my thoughts into doing these research tasks, we ran into the final member of Team Z, Naveen. With all of Team MZ assembled, it was time to take on the first promotion match, where we beat this taxi driver who has never won a match before. How, man? It's like not that hard to do, and I'm really bad at Pokemon. Now rank Y, we are introduced to Emma, the head detective at Lumiose, before deciding that we apparently have a mandatory bedtime. Okay. We are then introduced to the head of construction before following Urbain up to the roof, where he tells us to jump. Does this guy want me dead? Now trying to figure out what Urbain is plotting against me, we meet Venny, who me and Fizz definitely had some interesting thoughts on.
Okay, neckbeard, this guy going on here.
What? He's chopped. Bro.
You got them like J-Schlad sideburns.
Bro.
Since Urbain still refuses to let us roam Paris alone, we tag along with him to Wild Area 3, where we meet Ivor the Fist of Justice, who probably deserves to be locked up.
Did this guy just say he's going to take the Pokemon in hand-to-hand combat?
Catching everything in this wild area led us to be finally free of Urbain's shackles after heading to the Looker Bureau. Here, Emma tells us just a little bit about Mega Evolution before sending us off to do 3 side quests. So now that I was finally free from the game hand-holding me, you're probably expecting that I went out and really explored Lumiose. No, no, I didn't do that. I went clothes shopping. And then after I did that, I went clothes shopping again. Okay, I might be broke now, but like, look at the ZA Royale picture, man. It just looks so good. And, then there's also business. Finishing those 3 quests, we meet back up with Emma, who just casually shows off her Mega. This is sick and twisted, man. I want one. There's a pretty big jump in the story here, as you just essentially take on 3 back-to-back-to-back promotion matches, so I just kind of skipped through them. But before I actually had to start doing them, I just checked a wild area really quickly, and I still got it. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Shiny?
Oh my god!
Wait, shiny already?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Oh my god! Oh my god! With Jonathan Bug being the next main member of the team, I mean-munged this child, sent this waiter out of business, and stopped this lady from running a marathon? Achieving rank V, Zygarde abruptly arrives as we leave the building. Just then, we get a call from Emma telling us to follow him wherever he's going. Eventually, Zygarde leads us to this Absol that is radiating peak energy before suddenly Mega evolving. Because of how sudden this event is, Emma gives us a Lucario along with a Mega Ring to fight back. I actually think it's really cool that they chose to use the same format of introducing Mega Evolution as they did in X and Y. I distinctly remember seeing Lucario Mega evolve in Chalor City for the first time, and it being a big moment at the time. This is one of those moments that truly made me fall in love with Pokemon as a kid, so I was really happy to see it paralleled again in this game. After taking down the Absol, we learned that this phenomenon called Rogue Mega Evolution has been happening to Pokemon all around Lumiose. We are then asked by both AZ and Emma to help stop this phenomenon before being friended by Absol, who will be on the team, because I love him. As the next morning arrived, Urbain once again tried getting rid of me. I luckily took the lunatic down, however, and we headed to meet Vinny. Before actually heading there though, I went to the research lab to meet Mabel, who had a special surprise waiting for me. Upon seeing this, I instantly chose Squirtle, my beloved, before exploring some of the newly added wild zones. Here, I failed to catch Mawile for genuinely 20 minutes. Maybe it's a me issue, man. I don't know. After getting distracted, we finally head to the Quasartico building to meet Vinny. Here we find out Mr. Englebeard wants us to help with the Rogue Mega Evolution problem. But before we can do that, we must first prove our worth with a promotion match. I took down a good amount of his team with ease, but at the end I was definitely caught off guard.
I've got the
What? Grandpa! Holy fuck, he's got
kinda
aura.
cool.
Oh,
It's
no.
kinda cool.
Oh no! We then watch our rank significantly shoot up, going all the way from V to F. I do understand people wanted to play through this game in a way where it felt like they were really climbing through the ranks, but I kind of like how they did this here. From this point in the game, every single rank up match after this actually feels like it has a purpose and a meaning behind it, as if most of the other ones you were just fighting like a waiter or a child even. It really didn't feel like they were a purpose, you were just almost fighting promotion matches to fight promotion matches. So choosing to do this and skip a bunch and really develop up these last couple of battles you have, I thought was a really good choice, and honestly made the end of this game amazing to me. Meeting back up with Team MZ, we make our plan to take on the first 3 cases of Rogue Mega Evolution. AZ gives us a Mega Stone for the little guy before we went on our adventure. What? Just because he's Emboar now doesn't mean he's not a little guy. We took out Camera Up, Slowbro, and Victory Bell. Why do you look so happy about this? I actually really enjoyed this new style of battling. Normally, I'm really not one who cares about battling, and I really only play Pokemon games to catch all the Pokemon I want and then eventually shiny. This new active battle system though was actually really able to catch my attention. The constant movement and rotation of moves was just actually a lot more fun than I originally thought it was going to be. Going in, I was like, oh, I'll probably like these battles, but I didn't know I would genuinely come out really enjoying this battle system and it just being a whole fresh new look on Pokemon. That being said though, fun doesn't last forever when I had to do 1,000 of them. So, I know that's not part of the main story of this game, but I want to complain about it because I think it's dumb. With 3 Pokemon saves, Zygarde randomly appears again and challenges us to a battle. Old Reliable helped us to defeat Zygarde before a certain character appeared. Let's just say I was very normal about this. No fucking way. I wondered, I was like,
He's still got that same fuck-ass facial hair.
telling Team MZ about my encounter, we find out my next promotion match is against Kanari, which Naveen is not parasocial about at all. Yeah. In order to get in contact with her, we are forced to enter her competition to find her biggest fan, which definitely has a certain crowd. Since we actually need to win this competition, I had Jonathan Parasocial in my ear because I have no fucking idea who this is. 20 minutes of mashing through dialogue later, Kanari tells us to meet her at the construction building, where upon arriving, we find the head of construction that we met earlier. After battling and
Oh no.
he shows us that he was actually the one controlling the Kanari hologram. Anyway, it was actually time to take on Kanari in this promotion match, and I was a bit worried because I didn't really think about matching up against electric types. If I didn't have potions and revives here, I would have 100% lost this fight. Although this is a new battle system and it has different attacks in the way you fight Pokemon, that doesn't change the fact that I'm really stupid. Just because it's new doesn't mean I can't be the worst Pokemon player I know. So Fizz, I hope you're ready for the Soul Link. I'm gonna kill everything. After barely scraping by Mega Electros, Kanari has a public crash out while I rank up to rank E. Now with a public streamer beef under my belt, I headed back to the hotel to meet up with Team MZ. Here, we discussed the next 3 Rogue Mega Evolution targets. These were Beedrill, Hawlucha, and Banette. Like normal, I did a bit of exploring first, and I did it again. Are you fucking kidding me? You know what? I didn't want it anyway. Who likes Pidgey Shiny anyway? It's like overrated. Nobody even wants it anyway. I was easily able to take out both Beedrill and Hawlucha with little to no problems, but that was a whole different animal. I'm convinced the developers didn't even play through this boss because like what is this, man? Banette constantly teleports around to different parts of the map and can just be impossible to hit at points. I originally thought I individually had to take out each of the clones to reveal the main one, which was my fault. But like, why was it set up like that's what you're supposed to do? Anyway, I eventually found the real one and took it out or whatever. With those 3 rogues cleared out, the obvious next part of the story was to take on another promotion match. Who we find out is against... Oh no. In search of the man in love with fighting Pokemon, we head to his dojos, where he's apparently not here. Apparently, this guy lost a sister, so it's our problem to help him find her. This sends us on a big quest traveling all around Lumiose, including a fight with Kanari, who almost wiped my team again. Eventually, we're led to the sewers where I might have gotten lost for a bit before we finally find Gwen. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see her Mega. Oh, they cooked!
It's so hard. It's so hard.
With her chandelier taken out, all that remained in the quest line was to finally take on that promotion match. His team went down pretty quickly, but when I saw his last Pokemon, I might have popped off a little bit. That's fucking awesome!
Yeah.
Awesome!
Yeah. I figured you were gonna like it.
With another new rank under my belt, we have the same celebratory meal before heading to bed. When we wake up the next morning, we find out that Urbain is in debt. $100,000 in debt to make a video. Brother, I promise you it does not cost that much. How did you spend $100,000 on a video? We find out that the group that put him in this situation is called the Rust Syndicate. So we head to their base to find out more about Urbain's situation. We take out their guards before Felipe heads down to meet us himself. Why does everyone in this game have such a weird facial hair? Before he'll show us the place, he challenged us to a battle, and as normal, here's your scheduled Mega reaction.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
As we head into the Rust Syndicate, we meet the head of the company, Corbeau. Here we learn we can help pay off Urbain's debt by helping him with some jobs around Lumiose. Urbain, when I find you, man, it's so over. Before we worry about those jobs, though, we have another 3 cases of Rogue Mega Evolution to take out. The first 2 were Ampharos and Mawile, which were pretty easy overall. But the last one was surprisingly barbarical. That was the last Pokemon I would expect to get a Mega here. That being said, though, good lord. With the Pokemon now calmed down, it was time to take on those jobs that Corbeau brought up. Well, that was after I spent more money. These jobs are basically just going to an area and either battling someone or clearing out certain Pokemon. So overall, not that bad. Once those jobs were completed, Corbeau invited us to the Rust Syndicate, where we find out Corbeau is actually our next promotion match. I was personally really excited for this match because I already knew who his partner Pokemon was going into it, and let's just say, I wasn't disappointed. Holy shit! Yeah, we might be rank C now or whatever, but I really don't care because I need to go see what my shiny Mega looks like. I walked in, bought my stone. Oh my god, I'm so unbelievably lucky, oh my god. Naveen challenges us to a battle where he reveals his newly Mega Evolved Scrafty, which honestly looks really cool and, oh, it got one shot. After that, we head to this coffee truck where we were greeted by an interesting character. LeBron. There's just no way, man. There's just no way. Whatever their name is, they invite Urbain and I to come to Lady Jacint's event at the SBC. Like, who is Jacint and why couldn't she just invite us herself? Okay, you know what? I totally understand it now. She lists all the people we've met so far and mentions that she's putting together a tournament to find the strongest trainer. Urbain gives her the cold shoulder and just decides to leave, which, I can't lie, was really funny. So we head back to Hotel AZ and hold our regular scheduled meeting for the Rogue Megas, and oh my god, is that Jacint? What is she doing here? How did she get here? Obsessed with perfection, she states that we must come back and participate in her tournament. We again tell her no and head out to do the next 3 stages of Megas. Like all the previous sets, this one features 1 new Mega Evolution along with 2 previous ones we've already seen before. So I headed down to the 2 old ones first as I took down Altaria and Venusaur. There's something less Frostlash, which I can't lie, I was really excited to see. While it's not one of my favorite Pokemon in the world, it's definitely a Pokemon I really like, so I was just excited to see what it looked like. Although this one definitely looks like a scrap Dynamax design, I still really liked it overall if I'm being honest. So, funny story about like the next hour of gameplay here. Apparently, if while recording you like accidentally hit the button on your power strip and turn it off and turn off your computer, it apparently corrupts the footage. Like how would I expect that to happen? So, because of that, I'll just do my very best to recreate it here. As we arrive back at Hotel AZ, we are cornered by LeBron and Jacint as we are put into the Jacint zone. Here we are being forced to come back to the SBC in order to participate in Jacint's tournament. LeBron challenges us to a battle here where their Mega, Dragalge, is revealed, which I will promptly recreate my reaction. Oh my god, is that Mega Dragalge? Thank you. I'll be accepting rewards. Nominate me and I will win them all. Anyway, once that is over, we eventually head to the SBC because our next promotion match is, unfortunately, Jacint. Back to having footage again, we find out the bracket for the tournament, and it's against Kanari. Oh my god, how are we against Kanari again? How is it always Kanari, man? How? Although, now my Mawile might be a cup 20 levels. It was 20 levels higher. So I promptly defeated Kanari, along with Ivor and Corbeau, as it was time to take on Jacint. And Zygarde is here, I guess. Lysander and Zygarde appear as he says Zygarde wishes for a battle, which of course Jacint thinks is a good idea. You are insane. It was really funny that they put Zygarde under the bracket though. He goes all 50% form on me, but I was still extremely overleveled, so I took him down easily. Now that all that remained at just since perfect tournament was to defeat her. She had a Mega Clefable, which was what I expected that to look like if I'm being honest. Defeating her, we achieved rank B, and before moving on to the story, I decided to take on some side quests, where I didn't know it would take me an hour to find the Yoga Master.
I swear to God. Yoga Master! Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking... So after that catastrophe, I went to bed for the night and decided to take on the last set of Rogue Mega Evolutions the next day. This last set was Tyranitar, Dragonite, and Starmie. Tyranitar was the obvious first choice here, and since Dragonite was revealed in a trailer, I decided to do that one second. This only left Mega Starmie, which, if I'm being honest, might be the funniest designed Pokemon they've ever released. With every single rogue Pokemon tamed, we head back to the hotel where we find out our final promotion opponent, someone who goes by the name of Grisham. This is where the game made a gigantic jump for me. I was already really enjoying this game, but this whole storyline into the ending of this game just made this game absolutely perfect. But I'll talk more about that later. Apparently Grisham is an unknown trainer, as none of the Team MZ members actually know who he is. So we head to Emma to see if she knows anything about him. While not sure if it's the same Grisham, Emma recalls someone by the name of that who worked with Team Flare in the past. Although she doesn't know more information about this, she does send us to someone who will. While we technically know 2 former members of Team Flare, one is really, not all there. So we headed to the only other option we have. Mabel. She reveals she was put in this position after the events of XY, so it would be easy to keep tabs on her. Along with that, we find out that Grisham was actually a part of Team Flare, and to find out more about him, to head to the coffee truck we've been to plenty of times. Arriving here, the man behind the counter reveals that he is in fact Grisham, and along with that, he is the leader of a new version of Team Flare. He introduced his colleague Grizel before telling us to meet at a certain location to learn the truth. When I figured out exactly where we were going, I'm not gonna lie, I lost it. I just think it's so incredibly cool to see these prominent locations in XY be redone in this way. Standing in front of Lysander Cafe, Grizel challenges us to a battle, or as she says, fight me. Blastoise pretty easily took her out her team because, yeah. With her defeated, Grisham invites us inside and basically reveals the events of XY. However, he blames a good amount of this on his leader, Lysander, for making the wrong choice and rendering the rest of Team Flare outcasts. I was really getting pulled in here. This is really the first time in this game I felt like this is actually building off the events of XY rather than just being its own standalone story. Not that this game's story is bad by any means, but I just really like to see the original game I love get built on a little bit. Next, Grisham tells us to explore Lysander Labs in order for us to fully see the truth about Kalos with our own eyes. Exploring this area was super cool and nostalgic to me. They tried to keep this original feeling that this area had from XY while also living with the reality that it had been abandoned for 5 years. They even kept the floor that had held AZ and XY. Oh my god, this is where the AZ still was. That's so cool. Navigating through Lysander Labs, we finally arrive into the main control room, where we learn about the ultimate weapon fired 5 years ago that AZ created. After playing all the messages, Zygarde and Lysander appear behind us. He reveals that AZ has another device within Prism Tower that is being aggravated due to the ultimate weapon being fired 5 years ago. Although he has no memory of it, he's very regretful of all those things he did those years ago. Arriving back at the entrance of the cafe, Grisham once again insults his former leader before stating that in order to battle him for rank A, we must be ready to give up Floette. Okay, small momentary break from the action. I've had very few moments ever while playing a game where I get that locked into playing, and from the moment I walked into the cafe, I was just absolutely hooked. I'm curious what other people felt like when playing through this part of the game, because I kid you not, this was genuinely some of the most fun I've ever had playing through an area. At the hotel, AZ tells the rest of MZ the real story about his life. To show this, they use these beautiful motion graphics to describe the events. When these appeared on the screen, I got genuine chills, and I'm still getting chills looking at them now. He describes what he built in Prism Tower all those years ago. He attempted to build a device the exact opposite of the ultimate weapon. He created Angie, a device attempting to provide eternal life as a way to atone for what he did to bring Floette back. Naveen actually had some pushback, which honestly kind of surprised me as I thought they would just blindly go along with it. But with really no other choice, we had to rank up and fight the new leader of Team Flare. I thought it was an interesting choice for his Mega to not be a new Pokemon, but instead just be a Mega Charizard X. It's still cool though, because I got to see it in this game, so I won't complain. Although upset about his defeat, he understands the current situation and tells us to protect Lumiose, just as the dynamic duo appear to let us know that the end is about to arrive. Prism Tower begins to radiate purple energy as Angie is finally beginning to activate. AZ tells us to take Floette as Team MZ heads to the source. Before we storm the tower, we must have one final fight with the only trainer in Lumiose to rival us, Urbain. Although we do defeat him, we ultimately decide that he is the better person for this job. Urbain Mega evolves Floette as they enter the tip of Prism Tower. They attempt to stop it by using the control panel within, however this causes Angie to take over as the shell of the tower is released. We attempt to figure out how we are going to save them, but before we can get to planning, all of our allies appear to help us one last time. They plan to escort us throughout the city to meet up with Zygarde, where together we can face Angie. So, as the plan foretold, you were escorted throughout the city, with each person helping in, we'll say, a variety of ways. Also, this looks insane. Eventually, you hit the peak and meet Zygarde and Lysander, where he states that it's time, as Zygarde only needs one more cell to hit 100%, which has been traveling with you this entire time. This only leaves one thing left in your path. Angie Floette. This fight basically consists of these two flowers that will alternate attacks. All you have to do is take them down one by one and slowly chip away at the overall health bar. With its health bar almost gone, Zygarde takes it upon his own hands in order to finish it. Just as we think it's finally over though, Angie makes one more desperate attempt to take us down. Before this happened, a stone in my pocket begins to glow where we find our last Mega Evolution in this game, Mega Zygarde. Going into this whole section, I already had chills, but this gave me chills on like no other thing. Just an absolutely phenomenal moment. With this new power, Zygarde unlocks one final move and finally puts an end to Angie's Floette's outburst. Before the book closes, we reunite with Urbain before the game makes one final cut to AZ. He thanks Team MZ for all that they've done, finally putting an end to the mistakes he made all those years ago, allowing him to finally move on and be free of his misery. I just absolutely loved playing through this game, man. I have so many thoughts and things I could say that I loved about this game, but if I'm being honest, I think I said it best in the moment. Holy shit, man. God damn it, I kicked the thing down. I understand why people don't prefer that one, for this one at all to Arceus, because Arceus was such a well-made game and really is a standout title in this whole franchise. But dude, I feel like I've waited my whole life for this game. I love Kalos so much, and the fact that this game got made just feels like a love letter to all of Kalos to me. I don't think I've ever had more fun playing a Pokemon game for the first time. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a standout game in the whole franchise. I think this game was genuinely phenomenal. I love Kalos, I love Mega Evolution, and I love this game. 3,000 years of guilt and he's finally free. How do people play this game and say it was ass? I don't understand. I know I'm biased, but yeah, that game is awesome. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I don't have anything else to say. If you're still watching at this point, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I love this series so much, and I'm just so happy this game came out because it's really all I've ever wanted in a game. If you did enjoy it all, please like and comment and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. But otherwise, that's all from me. So, bye forever now. Thanks for watching. I don't know why this took me so long to come out. But yeah, goodbye forever now. Bye.